Okay. So the most hilarious thing has happened, and I went live, or so I thought, and I did the whole front section, and I never hit the go live button. That is so hilarious. I mean, I'm learning this stuff, and I don't know what I'm doing. So that is funny. I just never hit the go live button. And I did do the front of this. I didn't get it recorded, and I didn't get it live, so that is a real bummer. But I glued on the front of this. Might as well go over what I did. I'm finally changing the blade because, yeah, I think I turned that one around already. So, I'm an idiot. This isn't as bad as when I got the AR wing and I sent it back because I thought that they had glued the pieces on wrong. Even as a kit, I thought that never mind. There were holes for the spars that I didn't see, and I sent the whole thing back, and I got another one, and it was exactly the same as the first one, and then I realized that the first one was perfectly fine. I haven't built that AR wing yet, but anyway, this is really ridiculous. I missed the go live button, and I don't know what else to say. My apologies. It's not like I don't think anybody would have been excited about watching. But what we did was, as we fitted this, we cut and fitted this piece of foam on the front. We made a door. We installed some magnets. We put the little box in. Well, we did that all together. So we glued this whole front piece on. And that took over an hour. That's hilarious. So I've kind of don't know what to do with this whole back situation that I've left myself. As I was explaining, the way that this contour goes is not per the flight test design. I have changed it and made it curve down more towards the back. So now what I need to do is cut out pieces here. Well, first I'm going to cut out these pieces here. So what we need to do is go to the computer and print out some more of the form, the scan I did of this piece, so that I can then make some little formers that are going to go inside of here. And those formers will allow me to just curve and place a piece of foam here on the top. And then I'm just thinking of, I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of just using some thick poster board or thick paper, which I hopefully have, some cardstock, let's say, putting a little strip of foam, let's say like this. I'll do a preliminary fitting of my idea that I've been thinking about. And this is like in the last 2 minutes, you know, it's not like I've been planning ahead seriously. So I'll have a little piece that goes across here that almost matches the height of that. And then it will just attach right there. Remember, this is going here. And the scoop is kind of low, so I hope it still gets some air. So this piece will go on the side here and on the side here, but not in the middle, obviously, because we have our motor pod there. So that's what we're going to do, I think. And then if I ever need to get into this, I don't know. I'm thinking of just putting clear tape over that, and then if I need to cut it out, I'll just cut it out if I need to get in there and put more clear tape over it. I don't know. You can tell I haven't planned ahead. That's the way I roll. That's the way I've rolled with this build anyway. So far it's turned out all right. So, what shall we do? I think we should make these pieces first and get them fitted so I can figure out what I'm going to do. So I'm going to set this aside, get some foam board, and cut my piece. Where did I lost my piece. I had it out. So I cut this whole top. I cut this whole thing today, and I'm missing the back half of it. I wonder where it is. Maybe I used that to make the... I think I used that piece to make the box that's inside there. That's hilarious. So, yeah. Oh, and I apologize about the sound. My lavalier mic, I need to figure out also a way to power that besides disposable 9-volt batteries that cost like $6 a piece. This is what I have. I'll show you. This thing. This is what I usually use. It's a Shure lavalier microphone. ULX. It's old. They don't even make these UHF ones anymore. But you put a 9-volt battery in the bottom here, and I'm not going to be going through these things every stream. And basically one battery lasts like 1.5 of my obnoxiously long time wasting live streams. Anyway, so the purpose of this is to just say that I've screwed up. I did the whole thing without pressing the go live button. So my apologies to anyone who wanted to watch. Does anyone want to watch? No, there's nobody there. Okay, so, or is there one person there? I can't tell. Can't see from here. So I'm going to cut this stream off, and with my apologies for missing the creation of the front aerodynamic fairing or whatever this part is here, whatever this thing is, the front pod, the battery compartment, I don't know what we're going to call it. But anyway, it is here, it's done, and I can't go back and undo it, so, nor would I want to. And I did screw it up a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but in that glue joint right there, I don't know, I think there's too much brightness. I need an ND filter on this camera. But that glue joint, not so good. Not so good there. This side turned out pretty good, but I gotta trim that excess off. We can do that while we're here. I just set my blade up to do that, so let's clean up this. And so it kind of starts. I just put a new sharp blade on. So we'll do this on this stream because I'm so organized. Oh, cutting into the tape. Don't do that. I want to carefully cut along this glue joint where the glue is coming out. Maybe cut it there so I can start peeling it off. There, see, there's a piece. Oop, don't do that. Let's do it from underneath. I'm going to reinforce this with some tape, I think. I know, don't cut towards yourself. Don't try what I'm doing at home, folks. If I slip, it's going to go right up into my eye. So I'm doing it very slowly. There. That's a little better. Still gotta clean it up here. We don't want an edge. We want it to be super smooth. I think we'll clean that up with tape. And what I'm going to do is use some of this right now. Just get a little bit more of this glue off of here. Let's just do a few. A little bit of reinforcement without adding much weight. One more. Okay, now on this side, we can see how bad we did here. We should probably put a couple pieces of tape there too. Like so. In case you're wondering about my tape situation, which you're probably not, but I have two different tape dispensers with two different kinds of the Scotch tape on it. The one kind is the shiny clear tape, and the other one is kind of the matte clear tape. And I use the matte clear tape for like taping down the patterns onto the foam board and stuff. But any taping that I do on the plane, either outside or inside, that's not the packing tape or colored tape. Well, this isn't colored tape, that's actually Sharpie. I use the clear tape, the clear shiny tape. So this little piece of tape and all the tape I use to put the magnets on Sharpie, or clear shiny tape. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I guess we can do today, we can cut out the ailerons. We can go over that procedure. So, flaperons are next. We need those. So, we'll do that instead of the back. We can do the back too. If I find a piece of foam board. Let's see. I'm going to use new foam board for the flaperons, brand new, and not try to find scrap foam board. So here's our flaperon patterns off the flight test design. That's flighttest.com, and they're not producing the same kind of fun stuff that they did in the days. Well, fun. Maybe they're doing more fun stuff now and not so much technical stuff. But they have a separate channel for that now called Flight Test Tech, I think. I don't know. I don't watch Flight Test as much as I used to. Still subscribe though. So here's the matte clear tape. And we're just going to tape this all together. This is our left elevon. And then to do our right elevon. Dog's barking. Now he'll start pacing. Must be the mailman or somebody else walking their dog in front of the house. Okay, let's get our foam board. Oh, here's a nice piece of foam board. So, but I think I'm going to get a whole fresh piece of foam board. Excuse me. I'm still laughing at myself so hard for doing that whole front thing, thinking I was streaming, and I wasn't streaming. What an idiot. That is so funny. Okay, I think we should do it this way. We're going to do it this way. The grain is running this way, so we should do the flaperon this way, so that the strength is longitudinal to the flaperon. Does that make any sense? So it doesn't bend like this. Yeah, I think it might make sense. I'm not sure. So what I do with these is I use Adobe Illustrator to extract the part that I want off the drawings by just opening up the PDF, getting the parts I want to print, using the tile full pages print feature of Adobe Illustrator when in the print dialog box. And I'm on an old version of Adobe Illustrator. It's CS6. I actually own it. I own the actual software, and you can't do that anymore. You can't actually own Adobe Illustrator, any new versions. It's a cloud app. You can only rent it, which I think is sad times for us. Well, humans. You know, if you're a human, it's kind of a bummer. If you're a corporation, then it's fan-frickin-tastic. Okay, I'm going to move the chair away. I guess I'm going to stand while I do this. I'm going to cut this right on this line. Then I'm going to take this and line it up with the very edge. Of the foam board. Then I tape it on, like so. Josh Bixler would say, simply tape it on. And I ended up watching so many of his videos that I say simply all the time now. Okay. So, what we do is we do our score. I always try to do the score cut first. There's only one score cut here on this piece. And this here. And I put a couple dabs of tape back on. Dabs. Okay, couple pieces of tape. Then the next thing I like to do after any score cuts is any curved pieces, especially while you have a sharp blade, which, being America in 2020, you can't actually find any really good, decent blades that stay sharp. Everything is crap. So these are the most expensive blades I can find at like Menards or whatever, that they say last 10 times longer. What does it say on the outside? 3 times sharper, 3x sharper, longer. Stanley Fat Max. Don't trust what they say. Stanley is no longer an actual brand that manufactures anything. Just like just about every company, they don't actually make anything. It's just a name. Somebody in China makes all this stuff, or Vietnam, or the Philippines, or yeah, all those people need to work too, or Taiwan, or now if it was Japanese, that would mean some high quality, most likely. But if it's, maybe the culture in China will change at some point, but they're not interested in high quality. They're interested in high profits and sales. Kind of like the Americans. We used to be interested in high quality, but we are no longer that type of consumer society. Everything has to be cheap, and I am as guilty of that as anybody else. You have to be cheap, cheap, cheap. So look, I have Free Sky Radio, super cheap. Do I buy a nice $5, $7, $2,000 whatever Futaba radio? No. Free Sky, cheap. It's cheap, alright, but it's good, it works. And it's got OpenTX, which is awesome. Alright. What am I doing now? I am cutting through all the way. Everything needs to be cut out all the way, of course. Then we can do the final rounding of the shape on the edge there. We just get this one. I would have cut this right. It would have been all the way down. There. Get this off. Okay, we hold that to the side to get the, okay, so now, before I do anything else, I've got to tape it. This is going to be the top. Somewhere I'm denting it, see? I put a dent in it. And there's a ball of glue on here. Okay, so to tape it, this is the top. How does this go? Oh no, this is the top like this. And this is, let's see, which one did I just cut out? The right aileron, so this goes like this. Okay. So I don't need to match up any lines, it's just going to be all white, it's going to be all clear. So this very heavy and slightly expensive tape is the Scotch storage tape. That's the leading edge, so we need to go back to front. It's toward the front, back to front. Is that really how it goes on? I guess so. Okay. Okay, so what we do is we make sure we have a card ready. And we kind of line it up like that. And we do like this. Oh, see, it moved a little. So we get it straight because I don't want all my tape to be all crooked. I try to get it even. Try to get it to stay straight. Then you push it down at the very end, and then that kind of holds it. So now it's not going to move around anymore. We'll do the next one. Make sure we get it lined up. Get all the dirt off the top. Because of course if you have some dirt underneath the tape, it's going to be there forever. And there's always dirt underneath the tape on my planes because I live in this house with old house, dirt, dust, dog hair, people's. So there's a hair I can see sitting there, but it's not under the tape, so I'm just going to ignore it. And then that way it won't get blown. If I would have blown, it might have blown under the tape. That would have bummed me out. Okay, so there we've already taped up one aileron mostly. And we just get the card and stick the tape down. And we release it from here. Then we're going to actually let it wrap around the sides. I'm just going to take some tape off of here a little bit. Cut up the corners in a little. We'll round off the corners in a little bit. We're going to cut this part. Cut this part. And then Oops. Ah, don't do that. Okay, now I'm going to do this edge first. Very slowly. So we've now protected the edge of our, not so much on this side. There's a little bit of tape there. Then we'll do this side. This is the trailing edge here, and we kind of want to protect it. Sometimes what I try to do is this. Get it all stuck like that. Then I've got to make sure it's smooth. And this is the hardest part. Because there's almost no way to get it to pull tight along the edge completely. And I always get at least one wrinkle, but maybe no wrinkles today. We'll just fold this over. Extra reinforcement. Well done. Okay. Now we're leaving that tape there on purpose. Right here. This little bit sticking out. Then I'm going to put a little bit more. This is the underside. We definitely need to protect that too. I see a little bit. Oh, that's a mark that I can't take off. So we're going to go back to front, back to front. We're going the right way. I missed a little bit there. Doesn't matter. And then this will be the last piece of tape, and then we'll do our bevel cut. This is a departure from many flight test designs where the flaperon is actually, flaperon aileron control surface is actually separate and you put it on. Usually you just do a bevel cut from one single piece. Fold it over, you bevel cut it. This one will be different. Okay, I've already covered up the edges, so I don't need to do it again. Okay, now the next step is going to be to actually place this flaperon onto the plane. And we still have hot glue. And I think we should probably do the bevel cut first. This is not the bevel cut, by the way. This is the score cut. What I want to do here is break this very carefully. Get it all the way off. And this piece There. Okay, now we're going to do our bevel cut. And I cheat. Oh, and look at this. I think it's time to put a new bevel cutting blade on. So we're going to take this off here, like so. Let's get a new blade. We're going to clean it with alcohol so it doesn't have oil on it. So I take this and clean it off with alcohol. The blades do come with a coat of oil on them to keep them from rusting. And then you put your fingerprints all over them and then they get rusty. My Turnigy blade is falling. 2.5 millimeter. I need a 2.5 millimeter to tighten the 2.5 millimeter nut on there. How ironic is that? Okay, let's clean this off again. Maybe my fingerprints won't get all over it like they did on this one. Okay, now we'll bevel cut it. And I usually, in this case, I'm just going to place it on the edge. And I'm going to hope that. So what I try to do is about 3.5 to 4 millimeters. If you do much more than that, it starts to go through the paper. And try to go straight, which I'm not very good at doing. I'm the worst bevel cutter in the world, actually. And this one isn't much better. So, what I do then is I just try to usually do it after I put it on. Well, it's already on the wing and it's already on the plane on most of my test designs. Okay, so now let's get ready to put this on the wing. On the wing, yes, it is the wing. Okay. So it's the right aileron. So my plan was I have to take my name thing off. My plan is to try to get it as close That's why I left this little tape on here. Oh, I have it too far up. Shit. Come on. Come on. Oh, it sticks too good. Okay. That's okay. That is a huge aileron. Flaperon. That is a huge flaperon. Okay. Is that going to stick good on that tape? I don't think so. We're going to take we're going to peel this off. There, you can hear it cutting through the paper. So we very carefully scored it and took that off. Then we're going to glue it down with hot glue. Okay, scary times again. I don't want to screw this up. We'll just do a couple quick rubs like that and then just squish it out. I want to make sure we're keeping it smooth. There's a little bump. Let's apply some pressure. See if we can smooth out that bump. So, I was going to say, if anybody's just joined, we're working on an FT spear, but nobody's just joined. He's just a late person. A little bit of a glue bump there. You gotta be quick. Quick with your glue. But except for a couple little globs, I think we got a good joint. Okay, we're gonna need another glue stick soon. I forgot to round off the corners of the flaperons. We can do that. One. It's a lot easier to cut these round corners when you have a flat surface to cut them on. Sorry for my blowing. I know the mic is right there. I have to clear off the table though. And I don't want to put bumps, little bumpy bumps in the whole bottom of my plane. That is so amazingly funny, that the difference between the new foam board and the foam board I've had sitting in the house for a few years. Look at the difference in color. Okay, we're going to do another piece in just a minute. I have to go to the boys' room. Please stand by. says there's one, but unable to connect to chat. See, I don't even know if this thing is working. Is chat, I can't even spell chat, working yet? No. Unable to connect to chat. Try again later. Let's see. I hate this, not knowing what really is happening. We should be sending audio now. Okay, banging into the tripod. And mute for one more second. Now we need to cut our second aileron, flaperon, the left flaperon. So should I guess I'm not going to be able to use that same edge, but I could try. Yeah, let's do that. Oops, don't make such loud noises. I gotta remember that I have the tabletop collect every sound microphone going. Every sound is sacred. So we're working on the left flaperon of the FT Spear wing. The whole reason I'm building this plane is because I was looking for some small pieces of foam, and I had found that I had cut out the FT Spear wings, 2 pieces of foam board I had cut out, and it was probably like 4 years ago or 3 years ago, whenever the FT Spear video first came out. And Josh, the other Josh, not Josh Bixler, but the other Josh, he got a Chipotle burrito delivered in a FT Spear, which I thought was kind of cute at the time. And I decided to cut out the wings. And then lots of life happened. The wings sat in my bin of foam board pieces that have been cut out for things that haven't been used for whatever reason, which I have a whole bin of, well, there's not, it sat in the bin of scrap pieces, I should say. And when I found them, this was back in December of 2019. It is now, today is the 18th, the day before my mom's birthday. January 18th, 2020.
Are you on air?
Yeah, what do you need?
Nothing.
What do you want?
Oh, it's okay.
Baby. I might have to pause. She wants something. She won't tell me what it is because she doesn't want to interrupt me. but she should interrupt me. So I'm gonna go see what she wants, because medical issues are more important than foam board planes. So we're switching. Hold on. Over and out. Not over and out. I'll be back in like 3 minutes. Okay, so clearly I'm not a professional YouTuber. I have to end this stream right now in order to take care of my loved one. So I need to do that right now, and I'll be back in about half an hour. And we will do the left flaperon, we'll do the control rods and the control horns and all that fun stuff, and see if they're going the right way. So that'll be part 9, and we'll say that'll be in 1/2 hour from now. 1/2 hour from now. So thanks for watching, nobody in the world, and keep on flying.